The silent arrival commander Marcus Chen floated in the observation deck of the International Space Station Mark 7, his eyes fixed on the monitors displaying data from deep space telescopes. Something was wrong with the readings from the Kuiper Belt. The gravitational patterns made no sense, as if massive objects were moving through space while remaining completely invisible to their sensors. He had been tracking these anomalies for 3 weeks now, and each day brought more disturbing evidence that something enormous was approaching Earth. The coffee bulb in his hand had gone cold hours ago, but Marcus barely noticed. His mind raced through possibilities, each more unlikely than the last. Natural phenomena couldn't explain what he was seeing. The objects, whatever they were, moved with purpose and coordination. They changed direction, adjusted speed, and maintained perfect formation. Marcus pulled up the latest calculations on his tablet. At their current velocity, the objects would reach Earth's orbit in less than 72 hours. He activated the emergency communication channel to Houston. Director Sarah Coleman appeared on the screen within seconds, her expression grave. She had been monitoring the same data from Earth, consulting with experts from every major space agency. Nobody had answers, only growing concern. The objects numbered in the hundreds, possibly thousands, and they were slowing down as they approached the solar system. That detail troubled everyone the most. Objects in space don't slow down without propulsion. Marcus transmitted his latest findings to Earth, highlighting the formation patterns he had discovered. The objects moved in groups of 12, each group maintaining precise distances from the others. It looked like a fleet, but that was impossible. Humanity had searched for signs of intelligent life for centuries without finding anything. Now, if his suspicions were correct, that life had found them instead. On Earth, the world's governments assembled in emergency sessions. Presidents, prime ministers, and generals gathered in secure bunkers, reviewing the data streaming from space stations and satellites. The public remained unaware, going about their daily lives while their leaders faced the possibility that humanity was no longer alone in the universe. Plans were drawn up for various scenarios, from peaceful first contact to hostile invasion. Military forces worldwide shifted to high alert status without public explanation. Dr. Elena Vasquez worked frantically in her laboratory at the Chilean Observatory. As Earth's leading expert on theoretical xenobiology, she had spent her career imagining what alien life might look like. Now she might actually find out. She analyzed every piece of data from space, looking for patterns that might reveal something about the approaching objects. The way they moved suggested intelligence, but also something else that concerned her deeply. They were hiding using some form of stealth technology that bent light and radiation around them. The Zephyrian Empire had traveled for 50 Earth years to reach this small blue planet. Their massive city ships contained millions of soldiers and colonists, ready to claim another world for their expanding civilization. They had done this before to 12 other planets, each time overwhelming the native populations with superior technology and ruthless efficiency. Earth would be their 13th conquest, its resources and location perfect for their needs. Admiral Krex stood on the bridge of the lead city ship, studying the tactical displays showing Earth's defenses. The planet's technology was primitive by Zephyrian standards. Their satellites were basic, their space stations fragile, and their weapons laughably inadequate. The humans had barely colonized their own moon, let alone developed interstellar capabilities. This would be the easiest conquest yet. Krex ordered his fleet to maintain stealth protocols until they reached optimal striking distance. The first sign of trouble came when the Zephyrian scouts encountered unexpected resistance from Earth's magnetosphere. Their ships, designed for the weak magnetic fields of most planets, struggled with Earth's unusually strong magnetic protection. Systems flickered and navigation computers required constant recalibration. Krex dismissed these issues as minor inconveniences. His fleet had overcome greater challenges before. Luna Station detected the first visible ship when it dropped out of stealth mode, damaged by its passage through Earth's magnetic field. The massive vessel appeared suddenly on every screen, a dark crystalline structure the size of Manhattan. Panic erupted in mission control as operators scrambled to understand what they were seeing. Within minutes, more ships appeared, their stealth systems failing one by one as Earth's magnetosphere wreaked havoc on their delicate cloaking technology. The Zephyrian fleet found themselves exposed earlier than planned. Admiral Krex ordered immediate offensive action. launching waves of attack drones toward Earth's satellites and space stations. The drones moved faster than anything humans had built. Armed with energy weapons that could vaporize metal in seconds, Luna Station was the first target, its crew of 43 having only minutes to react. Commander Chen watched the approaching drones on his screen. Knowing the station's point defense systems were useless against such advanced technology, he made a desperate decision, one that would define humanity's response to the invasion. Instead of trying to fight the drones directly, he ordered the station's nuclear reactor to overload. If they were going to die, they would take some of the enemy with them. The explosion lit up the space around Luna Station like a miniature sun. The electromagnetic pulse from the detonating reactor spread outward, washing over the attacking drones. To everyone's surprise, especially the Zephyrians, the drones began failing. Their sophisticated systems, never designed to handle such primitive but powerful electromagnetic interference, shut down completely. Dozens of attack drones became drifting hulks in space. On Earth, this accidental discovery changed everything. Dr. Vasquez immediately understood the implications. The aliens' advanced technology was vulnerable to electromagnetic pulses, something humanity had been developing for decades as weapons. Within hours, every military installation on Earth began preparing EMP weapons. From small grenades to massive bombs, missile silos were reconfigured, and fighter jets were equipped with pulse generators. The Zephyrian fleet pressed their attack despite the setback. Massive energy beams lanced down from orbit, targeting military installations and major cities. But Earth's leaders had learned from Luna Station's sacrifice. They evacuated population centers and activated every EMP weapon in their arsenal simultaneously. The synchronized electromagnetic assault created a pulse that reached into space, disrupting the Zephyrian ship's targeting systems and shields. Without their technological advantage, the Zephyrians found themselves in an unexpected situation. Their energy weapons required precise computer targeting, now impossible with their systems constantly rebooting. Their shields flickered and failed, leaving their ships vulnerable to Earth's nuclear missiles. What should have been an easy conquest turned into a desperate battle. Captain Yuki Nakamura led the first squadron of Earth fighters to engage the alien fleet directly. Flying modified jets equipped with pulse weapons and nuclear warheads, her team executed attack runs that would have been suicide against fully operational Zephyrian defenses. But with the alien systems compromised, the human pilots found gaps in their formation. Nuclear explosions began dotting the space around Earth as human weapons found their targets. The Zephyrian ground forces that managed to land faced unexpected resistance. Earth soldiers might have had inferior weapons, but they knew their planet. They understood guerrilla warfare, urban combat, and most importantly, they were fighting for their home. Every landing zone became a killing field where human ingenuity met alien technology. Improvised EMP devices disabled Zephyrian equipment, leaving their soldiers vulnerable to conventional weapons. In the chaos of battle, a damaged Zephyrian shuttle crashed in the Amazon rainforest. Brazilian forces reached the wreckage first, finding wounded aliens and intact technology. This prize was immediately transported to Dr. Vasquez's relocated laboratory. For the first time, humans could study their enemy's technology up close. What she discovered in those alien systems would change the course of the war. The Zephyrian technology operated on quantum principles humanity had only theorized about. Their ships were connected through quantum entanglement to their homeworld, allowing instant communication across impossible distances. But this connection worked both ways. Dr. Vasquez realized that if they could reverse the quantum flow, they could send something back through the connection, something devastating. The counterstrike. The captured Zephyrian technology revealed secrets that pushed human understanding forward by centuries. Dr. Elena Vasquez worked around the clock with a team of the world's best physicists, engineers, and computer scientists. They discovered that the quantum entanglement network linking the Zephyrian fleet to their homeworld was not just for communication, it was a power distribution system, drawing energy from massive generators on their home planet and distributing it across their entire fleet. This discovery explained why the Zephyrians had never encountered effective resistance before. Their previous conquests had faced an enemy with unlimited power reserves and instant coordination. But Earth's magnetic field and EMP weapons had partially severed this connection. forcing the alien ships to rely on their internal power sources. For the first time in their conquest history, the Zephyrians faced logistical limitations. General David Morrison coordinated Earth's military response from a bunker beneath Cheyenne Mountain. The old Cold War facility had been modernized over the years, and now it served as humanity's command center against an alien invasion. Reports flooded in from around the globe as human forces engaged the Zephyrians wherever they landed. The aliens were taking heavy casualties, something their species hadn't experienced in generations. The war had united humanity in ways previously thought impossible. Ancient enemies fought side by side. Nations that had been on the brink of war weeks earlier now shared technology and resources freely. The threat of extinction had erased borders and dissolved old grudges. Russian scientists worked with American engineers. Chinese strategists planned with Indian generals, and every nation contributed what they could to the defense of Earth. In her underground laboratory, Dr. Vasquez made a breakthrough that would define humanity's counterstrike. By studying the quantum entanglement signatures in the captured technology, she could trace the connection back to its source. She had found the location of the Zephyrian homeworld, a planet called Zephyria Prime located 47 light-years from Earth. More importantly, she had discovered how to use their own quantum network against them. The plan was audacious and dangerous. By reversing the quantum flow and introducing a massive energy surge, they could theoretically send a destructive pulse back through the network to Zephyria Prime. The pulse would arrive instantly, thanks to the quantum entanglement, and would overload every system connected to the network. It would not just disable the Zephyrian fleet around Earth, but could potentially destroy their entire technological infrastructure. Captain Yuki Nakamura volunteered to lead the mission. Someone needed to physically connect the device Dr. Vasquez had created to the main Zephyrian command ship's quantum core. It was certainly a one-way mission. The energy release would vaporize anything within several kilometers. But Nakamura understood that the sacrifice of one could save billions. The international coalition prepared for the assault. Every remaining fighter jet, every missile, every soldier would participate in a coordinated attack designed to create an opening for Nakamura's shuttle. The plan required precise timing and perfect execution. They would have only one chance. If they failed, the Zephyrians would adapt their defenses and humanity would lose its opportunity. The attack began at dawn. Thousands of missiles launched simultaneously from sites around the globe, their trajectories calculated to arrive at the same moment. EMP bombs detonated in sequence, creating a rolling blackout that swept through the Zephyrian fleet. Fighter jets engaged alien craft in dogfights above the atmosphere, while ground forces launched diversionary attacks against landed ships. In the chaos, Nakamura's specially modified shuttle slipped through the Zephyrian defenses. Her small crew of volunteers maintained radio silence as they approached the massive command ship. The vessel was a kilometer-long crystal structure that pulsed with alien energy. Its quantum core was located at its center, protected by layers of armor and shielding that would normally be impenetrable. But the constant EMP attacks had weakened the command ship's defenses. Gaps appeared in its shielding, lasting only seconds before backup systems restored them. Nakamura had to time her approach perfectly. She accelerated toward one of these gaps, her shuttle's heat shields glowing from the friction. They punched through the outer hull, the shuttle embedding itself deep in the alien vessel. Nakamura and her team fought their way through the ship's corridors. The Zephyrian soldiers, tall beings with crystalline skin and 4 arms, had never faced humans in close combat. Their energy weapons were designed for long-range engagement, not the brutal efficiency of human close-quarters training. The team reached the quantum core chamber after 20 minutes of fierce fighting. The device Dr. Vasquez had created looked deceptively simple. A briefcase-sized box containing Earth's most advanced technology, cobbled together from human ingenuity and stolen alien components. Nakamura connected it to the quantum core, the alien system immediately trying to reject the foreign intrusion. She had 60 seconds before the Zephyrian systems would adapt and neutralize the device. She activated the device and spoke her final words into her radio. The transmission reached Earth just as the quantum reversal began. Energy that had flowed from Zephyria Prime for decades suddenly reversed direction. The pulse that traveled back through the quantum network carried not just electromagnetic energy, but something the Zephyrians had never encountered before. Human determination encoded at the quantum level. On Zephyria Prime, alarms screamed in every facility connected to the quantum network. The planetary power generators, massive structures that had operated for millennia, began overloading. Safety systems failed in cascade as the reversed energy flow exceeded all design parameters. The Zephyrian leadership watched in horror as their most precious technology turned against them. The explosion started at the primary quantum generator and spread outward. Each connected system amplified the destruction, creating a chain reaction that encompassed the entire planet. Cities powered by the quantum network were consumed in seconds. The atmospheric processors that maintained their world's delicate ecology shut down. Within minutes, Zephyria Prime transformed from a thriving world to a dying ember in space. The effect on the Zephyrian fleet around Earth was immediate and catastrophic. Every ship connected to the quantum network lost power simultaneously. The massive city ships fell from orbit, burning up in Earth's atmosphere like apocalyptic meteors. Smaller vessels crashed into oceans and continents. The most advanced invasion fleet in galactic history became scattered wreckage in moments. The surviving Zephyrians, those in ships not connected to the quantum network, faced a terrible reality. Their homeworld was gone, their fleet destroyed, and they were stranded thousands of light years from any allied system. Some surrendered immediately, begging for mercy from the species they had tried to conquer. Others fled into deep space, their fate unknown. Humanity emerged from underground bunkers and hidden shelters to witness the rain of alien debris. The war was over, but the implications were just beginning. Earth had not just survived an alien invasion. They had destroyed an empire that had conquered dozens of worlds. The primitive species the Zephyrians had dismissed had achieved something none of their previous victims had managed. Dr. Vasquez studied the quantum technology, now permanently severed from its home network. The knowledge gained from the Zephyrian systems would advance human technology by centuries. Within years, Earth would have its own fleet capable of faster-than-light travel. Humanity would venture into the galaxy not as conquerors but as defenders, warning other species about the dangers of underestimating seemingly primitive worlds. The memorial for Captain Nakamura and her team stood in the center of the new United Earth capital. Their sacrifice had saved humanity and changed the course of galactic history. The inscription read simply but powerfully that Earth's greatest weapon was not its technology, but the courage of its people. Species across the galaxy would learn to respect and fear the small blue planet that had done the impossible. Years later, when human ships encountered other civilizations, they carried a message. Earth sought peaceful relations and mutual benefit, but any aggression would be met with the same determination that had destroyed the Zephyrian Empire. The story spread throughout the galaxy, becoming legend. The humans, barely spacefaring, had faced impossible odds and won through sheer will and ingenuity. The Zephyrian survivors who had surrendered were eventually integrated into Earth society. They shared their knowledge and culture, enriching humanity's understanding of the universe. Some even joined Earth's new Space Force, seeking redemption for their species' actions. They spoke with awe about human resilience, how a species they had considered inferior had achieved what dozens of more advanced civilizations could not. Earth's transformation was remarkable. The United Planet rebuilt its cities with alien technology adapted to human needs. Clean energy from quantum generators ended pollution. Medical advances from Zephyrian biology eliminated most diseases. The invasion that had nearly destroyed humanity had inadvertently pushed them into a golden age of prosperity and exploration. As humanity's first interstellar ship prepared to launch, crowds gathered to watch. The vessel, named after Captain Nakamura, would carry Earth's message to the stars. Humanity was no longer alone, no longer defenseless. They had faced the darkness and emerged stronger. The planet that had barely reached its own moon now stood ready to take its place among the galactic community, forever changed by the day they tried to invade Earth.